Very well. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to today's show. This is the FS3 Tokyo Open Live Room. We are talking to the FibStalker. Thank you very much for joining in. This is a daily show when we feature real trading, and we do this at the very heart of the Asian session daily show from 7 p.m. to 7:45 p.m. Thanks a lot for joining in today, and we will start right away here. As you know, trading is risky, and risk is very important. It's a very important part of risk management. Some mentors I had believed that psychology is the most important part. I well agree with that. And an important part of psychology is to control our emotions, particularly greed, fear of losing an opportunity, and fear of losing money. We do this through risk management. Trading Forex and its derivatives, futures, options, and CFDs, and other instruments with retail off exchange transactions involve substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for every investor. You may lose all or more of your initial investment, as leverage can work for you as well as against you. It magnifies, in fact, gains as well as losses. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please also review the FS3 risk disclosure on the website. And if you've got some time, review the beta of the new website, which is quite exciting. The information, including commentary and trade ideas provided in this webinar, should not be relied upon as a substitute for extensive independent research which should be performed before making your investment decisions. Indeed, preparation is an important, very, very important part of trading as well. Without preparation, losses are almost a guarantee. And the information I'm going to give you are merely provided for general information as well as educational purposes. I, Giuseppe Basile, FibStalker Consulting Incorporated and FS3 will not be responsible for any losses incurred or investments made by attendees as a result of any information in this webinar. All right, so thanks a lot for joining in today. I'm here. I'm very happy to have you here today. Let me open the chart here so I can see who is in. I hope you're having a great day, or you're starting a great day if you're in Asia, or you are sleeping if you are in Europe. Although series trader, I know they watch this show live, and most of them watch the show in the morning as well. So it's very important. As you know, we give important levels. I'll show you that the level that an area we indicated yesterday on the US dollar Japanese yen has been tested and is currently working. And let's see if I can open the chat here, and I will welcome you, and we'll get into the charts right away. All right, so I wanna say hello to K7 Pantelis. Hi Pantelis, Marco. Thanks a lot for your email. K7, Todd, Kibilongs have been moving nicely. Scott, hello Todd. We also have IBY1003, Mfundo, welcome. Suji, Desi, Panteli, Sadinda, Leib Lopez, Todd, KA7. Thanks a lot for coming in. Scott just commented, so that is the Japanese yen was wondering when the algos will kick in. Well, the algos kicked in during the European session, as I'm going to show you in a moment here. And then the sequence on the 4-hour was broken, and this rally that we saw here, it's actually doomed, I believe. So we still don't know whether the previous highs are going to be challenged here, and let's get into the charts. So we can actually review this. All right, so let me get into that, and we're gonna review the charts here. All right, so give me a yes if you can actually, if you're able to see the charts here. And so as we are saying, hello Sifa, as we are saying, you will remember that yesterday we mentioned and we reminded this 109.35 level. The market got right into that level. This is a weekly chart, which you see here. This is a weekly bar, Monday, Sunday to today, Thursday. And you can see here on the daily how the market accelerated into this area, and then there was a first reaction. The market moved lower and then moved higher again, and it's now around within that area actually. And that move lower that you see here as a daily bar was indeed a violation of the sequence higher on the smaller time frame. And now when you see these move higher here, these are pushed higher by smaller time frames from algorithms on the smaller time frames, but the damage is done. So it is my belief, and my belief is supported by the experiential data, by applying these collected in more than 5 years, applying these models to the market, that this rally here in the smaller time frame that you see here, it's kind of doomed at the moment. All right, so still we don't know whether the highs will be challenged. Possibly that won't happen. And if you traded if you use the timing here, the FibStalker timing already during the European session, you should have a risk-free trade at the moment. All right. Okay. So this is very interesting because it actually allows us to comment on this level here. See, this level is always a level where we could see some participation. Typically, at these levels, we see participation, and so we can act. And the only objective when we have these levels, for those who know the way I look at the markets, the way I trade, is that the only objective of these levels is provide us with a risk-free trade. Okay, initially when we put the trade is not risk-free, it's full risk. But because of the high potential of participation into these areas in the direction of the main trend, it's very easy to transform those trades from full risk to risk-free at some point. All right. And once you have a risk-free trade, you never move your stop, which is above highs here, and you just let the market do whatever it has to do, because we don't know what the market is going to do next. If you know it, please send me an email. I'll be very happy to know about it, and so that I am more effective. And this is my request. I want to ask you, if you know what the market is going to do next, please send me an email. I don't know. All right. Just kidding, of course. So let's go back on our trade here. So risk-free trade. My anticipation is that this market is going to move lower. Mind that this market tends to move opposite the euro dollar. So my initial target would be 108.60 area here. All right. So yeah, send it to me and to Scott as well, and to me as well, please, guys. Keep me in the CC. Thanks a lot. All right. Another quote I like to do when it comes to knowing what the market is doing next. I really have hard time using intermarket relations, and indeed one of the reasons is that intermarket relations change with time. And one joke I always do is that nobody's sending me an email when intermarket relations between two markets change. So very good. All right, so very quickly here, I'll look at the SP500. SP500 keeps moving higher. We could see a small reaction here. Still see a lot of strength here. We could go into 209. Gold and silver are correcting. Gold is much weaker here. Silver might have completed its correction here, and I believe it has the potential for a last step into that 160.60. But I believe we're going to see some reasonable profit taking there. If that happens, this market will keep its extended stance here. So I really don't anticipate, although anything can happen, just a full reversal of in this market. So let's get it one step at a time, because it doesn't make really a lot of sense to try to project price in multiple multiple moves after. We will see what happens after, and if algos or smart money will start taking profits at that 1660, which is still on target. All right. So if you have any questions on gold and silver, just let me know. Dollar index, of course, is kept moving higher as we would anticipate, and the reason for that is the euro is actually correcting. So and we will get there in a moment here. What is important is that we keep in mind that this market is on top of a potential weekly long area. However, a better read is probably given at the moment by it's a better read on what this market could actually do. Scott is still joking there. Giuseppe, probably a better bet on the timing. Not me, smart money, and who's behind the algos. And I'm just a follower. So I just look at price and try to understand what they're doing. All right, but thanks. So again, thanks a lot for joining in. Let me see if there is anyone else here joining in. We have new faces as well. Thanks for joining, Suji, Sifa, and let's get into the euro dollar then. You will remember that yesterday we had a very clear level that was pierced. Clearly was pierced today, which is this bar here. Is the bar before the current one. Let's not forget that at the Tokyo Open, actually at 5 p.m. EST, we have the new trading day, which is represented on this daily chart by the new little green bar here that you see here. Okay, so once that level has been the level that I've indicated yesterday has been pierced on the downside, and so now we know that on the daily time frame, this market is being governed by who? By bears, actually, by shorts. And this market can just continue lower into the next level of potential support, which is the 111.40 I've indicated yesterday. However, as always happens, there are some things that we don't know about the markets, and particularly when reactions will start, when traders will start and and we don't know when a reaction on a smaller time frame starts. Sorry, I was reading KA7 comment there, sorry, correct, connection cut, and just waiting on the euro dollar market for a retracement. Yeah, that's a sensitive proposition there, K7, and in fact, as I was commenting, we don't know when profit taking or a rally, which is actually supported on the smaller time frame, will take place. However, if it takes place, one of the levels you want to watch is not the only one, but one of the obvious level we want to watch is the 113.50. All right, if the market gets there, they might become a good opportunity for a short in the euro dollar here. All right, try to bring price into the 29.43, and that would be nice. That would be a 200 pips trade that you could take with 10 to 20 pips of risk. So talking about reward to risk of 10, and that's what the kind of trades you're looking for. And this also testimonies how important it is to know these levels well in advance. Okay, and so you know, this is what we can say in relation to the plan for the plans for the euro dollar as we move forward. If you have any questions, you can write them down. And if you have any particular markets you're following, otherwise I'll just continue. There's one market I wanted to review, which we mentioned on Monday, as when we resumed the room. We didn't touch on this, but you know, we have been trading this as well. And as you can see, as you remember on Monday, I mentioned a potential area of resistance. That area has been basically trading since Monday on the short side, and this market is now well in on its way onto that 140.80 level there. Okay, so great participation this week at that area starting from Monday. If we review the charts here, we had, you know, the level tested the week before, then again on Wednesday last week, sorry, on Thursday last week, and then from Monday we had 4 days this market moving lower. So if we get a reaction, you're gonna get a little reaction here potentially, and for a continuation lower. So that's, if you lost this trade, you know, there are always ways to actually enter these trades. Obviously, you know, the smaller risk is always at these areas. So it pays to know these areas and be capable of projecting these areas in advance. All right. Sorry, I keep making mistakes here. And what I wanted to do, I wanted to kind of highlight this area here. So it's definitely a great move there. And what is interesting is that this market is moving in extension or in an extended way. So the possibility that this level is retested now, it's very, very remote. And when you have a daily level that is actually a weekly level that is pushing price lower like this, these are very good trades that provide multiples, tens of multiples sometimes of risk. So that's the kind of trades as well we're looking for. So congrats to all of you who actually have taken the trade. I know some of my students definitely have had, and I'm happy about that. Scott is mentioning a nice move there, definitely a great move. How's your outlook on the Canadian dollar? And let's go and review it. Looks like it's retracing also before a move lower. Yes, I mean when we look at this market, This market, for those of you who do not know my personal view on this market is moving into 120.60. That's the area where there's going to be a potential support from the weekly time frame. There's no weekly players in my read of this market. Is interesting at this stage in pushing price up or pushing prices higher. Okay, so it is important to keep that into account. That doesn't mean that this market cannot rally, but if the market rally is not going to be because of responsibility of weekly players or big players that are supporting this price higher. Markets can rally for a number of reasons, especially Forex market that are are also influenced by lots of hedging operations or a number of operations that commercial banks do to support actual commercial exchange. So on the other hand, there could be also algos and smart money and professional who actually are capable of pushing price higher because they anticipate or push profit taking as well as they anticipate large operation. The point is, the way we model it, we always model this moves higher as moves on the larger time frame. All right. So when we look at the obvious level here, we didn't review this market in the last few days, but this market is extended as counterpart Euro Canadian dollar and Euro Australian dollar, and in this market actually this is a level we have not shown before because we have not reviewed this market in the last days. But that's one level that we will need to keep into account. I would have traced that level in advance, so I'm going to remove this level because you might believe that I'm showing it only after the fact. But that's to show that this market has already reacted to a potential area of participation short. So to me, it is very likely for this market to continue lower from these levels here. So Todd, you are absolutely right. If you have a short in the Canadian dollar, you should keep that short and try to bring that short to a very aggressive but not impossible second target at 124.80. All right. So that would be a plan for the US dollar Canadian dollar. Okay. So I'll just continue here, and if you have any specific markets you want me to review, the New Zealand dollar US dollar has been mentioned, and we have not reviewed this market, at least here in the room for some time. I just want to make a quick check also on some markets that I mentioned yesterday, so you have a follow-up, and if you're trading them or if you plan to trade them, you actually have some update or reference information here. The euro pound actually has not reached any of those two levels that we mentioned, and it could actually react higher here before a continuation lower. Yesterday we also mentioned the pound versus US dollar, which is actually moving laterally. So this market is in a little mess here, if you want, and I'll leave it alone on this time frame. Of course, this market can always be traded on the smaller time frames. The pound versus the Japanese yen, which is another market that we mentioned yesterday. You will remember that we actually looked at a level on the weekly time. I also mentioned that this market was ready for a potential correction, at least on the smaller time frame. We had that correction, and this market is now in a condition where it could actually could actually continue higher as well. Just want to review it. And let me see if it's I would leave it alone, because at this stage, and in the smaller time frame, just because it's I think the chart is a little bit indecisive here. There's also a possibility for this market to to correct before continuing that move higher. So I would actually leave it where it is. Quick check of the US dollar Japanese yen. It keeps moving lower here, and if you were bold enough, you could also short, as we mentioned before, around these levels, either with a stop above previous highs, or if you were more aggressive, with a stop above most recent highs here. Okay, so this market is behaving as we anticipated would behave. Just keep an eye on it, because I have a trade. And so we mentioned the pound versus Japanese is indecisive on the smaller time frame, so I would let it alone. New Zealand dollar, US dollar is an interesting market. It's been has been a market that gave us typical demonstration that when we are placed in when we are positioned in a market in the right way, and we are capable of managing risk in the correctly, we should really just let the market move. And this market also let me see. Okay, and you will remember in the past, actually, that was March. It's been a very interesting. And February and March. You will remember that we commented on our trade that took an unbelievable amount of time to get to completion. As you will remember, it took exactly 22 sessions. And I don't know how many of you, can you give me a yes if you remember this trade, as you are online here. Q is moving nicely in extension on the hourly time frame, looking for a target 71.32, too aggressive. So we'll get into that thought. Jacks like this 1 month ago. All right, and that's good. So what we had was a trade that actually triggered mid of February here, and it was a lot of pain to see paper profits, partial profits in our account, and then drop, and then again see this market very, very close to the first target and then drop again. And it took 22 sessions. We counted them, and I'm happy that there were it required a lot of patience. I know there were people who went through that. It was tough, but it was also a swing trade, right? So there is nothing to lose once you have a risk-free trade. The most you can lose is paper profits, right? The market then kept being very, very technical here. In fact, we had another great entry that actually participated first, and then has broken the level, but gave us an indication of a behavior after that, after the first target was then hit there. All right, but due to that failure now, I believe this market might be, not necessarily, but that's what we are seeing at the moment, you know, we cannot exclude a retest of the 50% level here, which seeing the lateral, the way the market has moved in the last, basically in the last 7 months here, could even mean could even actually bring price below that 065.82. Now, one thing at a time, because this market has offered us a pattern that I call them for murder, and there are specific conditions that trigger that pattern, and in the FibStalker methods, and you can see here clearly the M forming here. So long term, although the weekly time frame, sorry, I wanted to open the weekly time frame here, although the weekly time frame is indeed bullish here, on the in the intermediate term, when we switch to the daily time frame, we might actually see a potential correction here. All right, and so keep that level I mentioned here in mind. If you're long this market, you should be careful. Todd has mentioned that is moving nicely in extension, or suppose I would suppose is moving nicely in short extensions. But that's not only the old pictures that we get here. I will keep that 60 area in mind, and you know, it would be great if this chart here would actually complete at that level. That's for me, that's only a hope at this stage, but that could well happen there. We will see. In the very short term, there is the potential for a reaction higher here into a value area, potentially a 50% as well, up to that. And that level has been already tested. Should be very, very careful here if that level is retested again. Because of the M for murder pattern there, I would anticipate a successful retest at this stage, meaning that what I would look for is price showing me that this level is holding if we get into that level. All right. Okay, so I hope this this review was interesting and useful. If you have any other questions, as usual, you can send those questions to my my email. And this is it for the review of today. What I'll do now, I'll start right now and do a summary of today's show, and so that you can actually keep in mind the important levels that might help you or support you with your current trades as well. So what we did, we started from with a mention to the SP500. We showed that, as we anticipated at the beginning of the week, this market has has moved higher at the beginning of the week, and it's now slowing down. We could see this market is very strong on the daily time frame, so even a correction, I believe, should not bring this price below 2064 if that happens at all. Okay, otherwise 2089 is our target. Gold and silver have been correcting, and gold is much weaker than silver at this stage, and it's moving laterally, as you see on the daily, and it could retest that 1196. That would not negate shorts, although some people might invoke a head and shoulder here. This is total nonsense to me. And silver, on the other hand, which is not what you see here, but this is silver, on the other hand, has been relatively stronger, and silver might have completed its lateral correction here, time correction, and might be ready for a last stab higher into that 1660. All right. We also review the dollar index, and the dollar index has continued higher, reflecting a weaker euro dollar, which is now approaching an area where it could bounce slightly to give us another short opportunity. The euro dollar could also continue lower. That's the next market we touched. It actually bounce into 113.50 or just continue lower. If it continues lower, will not give us any opportunities to either add to the shorts or open a new short here. We quickly reviewed euro pound that has not tested at 78.86, as well as pound versus US dollar, which is moving laterally. Very dangerous market at the moment. If you don't have a position, if you have a position, it's going to be a short-term position because the market is moving laterally. Don't forget that. Pound versus Japanese yen, has a potential for both direction. The smaller time frame, on the larger time frame, 157.60 would be the area where we want to watch this market. We also covered the US dollar Canadian dollar, which is potentially started a new correction lower into the second daily target, which is much lower at 124.80. And then finally, we covered the New Zealand dollar, US dollar that has a Murder pattern in play here, with a potential for moving into 066.60. Before I leave you, I just want to remind you that I'm enrolling to my 4th edition of the FibStalker Methods coaching program. And if you are interested, it's going to be a great opportunity to learn how we can model algo, and we can install in our mind these models to perform analysis from the weekly time frame down to the 1 minute, and implement the trades using 7 trading systems that are written for you. All right, so thanks a lot for being here today. I hope this was interesting. I'm gonna see you tomorrow again, and we're gonna continue tomorrow. Sorry, tomorrow we're not gonna see. I'm not gonna see you tomorrow. I'm gonna see you on Sunday, and Sundays are always important because it's the start of the new week. You have to be very careful also with all the news that are coming up, and we select the market also based on that. All right, so you have a great evening here and a great weekend as well. And I'm gonna see you on Sunday. If you liked the show, please tweet about it and tell your friends or fellow traders and buddies, and let's actually grow the show, and it's going to be very interesting. I like the interaction as well. Thanks a lot for your questions, and it is always interesting to actually look at the markets, and also in a way that reflects not only my views, but also your trades and your own views as well. All right, so thanks a lot, and have a great weekend, everyone. Todd, by the way, my sister-in-law is a Basile. Yes, Basile comes from the Greek basileus, which means king, apparently, so there has to be something to it. Right, just kidding, of course. And have a nice weekend. Scott, let me know if you have to get involved. And for all of you, I'm going to see you next Sunday. Okay, thank you very much, and bye-bye now.